cops, your church, small business men and women, moms and dads who are just doing their best to make sure their kid has a decent education, parents that fear America's best days are behind her because the powerful forces of greed and corruption are blocking the road to individual freedom, individual faith, responsibility, inventiveness, blocking us from volunteering. This is the same choice. Man has always been at this place. They've asked us to make this choice over and over and over again. In the 18th century, we made the choice. We said no to a king that was in bed with special interests and didn't care about the people. In the 1850s, the most unlikely of heroes stood with people of faith to right the wrongs of the past. When both parties were corrupted, this man began a new one. It was called the Republican Party, a name that back then had meaning. After we had fought that bloody battle, they tried to make us choose again during Reconstruction, and that time we almost failed. We got so lost, and then Wilson and FDR, each time they made us choose, they weakened the system. In the 60s, they stole our grandparents' children, and those who had the most and had done the least began to conspire on how to destroy our children's inheritance. And here we stand. Here we stand at that epic choice. Do we let man finally conquer the American spirit, or do we stand again and shake off the ever-forming chains, reclaim our rightful place by picking up our God-given responsibilities to ensure that man continues his crawl from the swamp to the stars? Stand. Stand, for you are man. And what is more, you are an American. Let them cry racism. Let them cry it all day long. I ask you to stand and cry freedom. All men, all races, all creeds. Freedom. Freedom from want. Freedom of religion. Freedom of speech. Freedom from a monolithic, faceless bureaucracy that makes your choice for you. It's the same story over and over and over again throughout history. Make a choice. And they usually fool you because they dress it up. How many slave owners put a happy face on taking man's freedom away? Oh, we're helping them. Oh, they'll never be able to be on their own. Oh, they'll die without me. Frederick Douglass understood a kind and benevolent slave owner is still only a slave owner. We've solved this fundamental question. We've solved it how many times? We've never solved it completely, but we've answered the question. We've made the choice 100 years ago, but the evils of man have conspired to form a new chain. This chain, again, is benevolent. One of help and handouts and health care. But it is a chain around our necks nonetheless. This is your choice. Kiss the hand that feeds you, or fight for your right to eat and sleep and work and worship as you wish. Man must speak while man can speak. I have to tell you, I've learned an awful lot in the last 12 months. I've learned an awful lot. The world seemed a lot more simple even 12 months ago. They're not going to drag me down to this level. I've made mistakes in the past, but I have to tell you something, I have learned a lot. We don't need to call people names. We don't have to. Their words are evidence enough. They cannot make the argument in the open. They know no man of any color would choose to be enslaved. So they have to lie, they have to cheat. I don't think that those in power and those who seek even more power are racists, as I have come to understand that racist is too small of a word. I believe these people will enslave any man. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what party they're in. In the end, if America chooses this new path, mark my words, all knees shall bend and all heads will bow to a new earthly king. This story that we are seeing unfold is the oldest story around. It is a story as old as man himself. To make this about me or make this about the president is to mock the point in history at which we find ourselves. We are small and insignificant. The choice is monumental, eternal, and universal. Once again, we find ourselves in the same point with the same choice and someone saying, choose. We have, over and over. But because we're human, we are flawed. And we never quite get it right. But in the past, we've always been moving forward. We've always been standing more erect. I believe, again, that Americans will draw the line between them and those who currently hold the keys that control the force of the greatest, most powerful nation on earth. That force they have behind them. Those who would be our self-appointed kings. Those who would blaspheme our sacred American ideals while they cry racism. Americans will humbly stand together in the fire of God's truth and once again cry freedom.